Hey everybody! My name is Why Not, and welcome back to another Speed Art from the Vault. We are still looking at my Halloween D&D campaign from 2021, and as always, I am here with my good friend Mouse, a main player in the game.
Howdy.
Today we are looking at the very last Carnival Freak I ever added to the Halloween of Horrors event. It was Jinxie, the living puppet. His Carnival Freak was the world's shortest man, though there was a joke in the original recording that he was just the world's ugliest man. Now, you don't remember much of Jinxie, do you?
I remember some. I remember them being very annoying to fight.
Oh, very, because that was it was an average level fight, actually. In terms of difficulty, it was actually suited for your party, and it wasn't the most dangerous.
Yeah, except we'd all exhausted like most of our resources by that point.
Oh yeah, so that fight went on.
Like I had only cantrips by the time we fought this guy.
Oh yeah. Now Jinxie was actually an afterthought, because originally he had the final item. He had the ring, Doc's wedding band, and originally that was actually supposed to go to the Cotton Fluff, I believe, the one we did a few weeks back. The deadliest monster I've ever created.
Yeah.
But I thought about that like halfway through, and I'm just like, no, I don't like that.
I mean, that's how I make a lot of my decisions as a DM. Just completely based on whim.
Yeah.
No real reason.
Yeah. But Jinxie was always supposed to be there. Originally, he was just going to be a haunted dummy, with the possibility of being some monster you had to fight if I needed him. You found him in the spare bedroom, if I remember correctly, and he was sitting on top of something you really needed. He was sitting on top of a sheet of coded papers that you had to decode.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was something that you got later down the line. I actually forget what it went to.
Probably that puzzle box that we broke.
It probably went to... No. The puzzle box, I think it had the original sheet inside. It had clues to how you would finally escape, I believe. The puzzle box was the most irritating thing because I created it first. It was the first puzzle I made.
Yep.
It was labeled as Steam, and you found it in the bathroom. I honestly thought that would be easy, you know?
Well, unfortunately, we took it out of the bathroom like session 5 or whatever.
Yeah, but I made a point to say, yeah, this is the puzzle box labeled Steam that you found in the bathroom.
Yeah, that meant nothing to us.
I said it every time. I thought it would be easy. You'd run the hot water, there would be steam filling the bathroom, and it would reveal a message on the mirror. It just said, hey, nice. And that was just what you had to put in. It had exactly the right letters. Like, I was so upset, man. That was my easy puzzle.
and we broke it. It was easy. You're right.
You were proud of yourself. You spent half an hour of recording time trying to break open that thing. You did.
Yeah. And I succeeded.
But no, Jinxie was just sitting there up on a nightstand by the spare bed. How he would activate is you would have to pick him up and just mention how absolutely ugly he is. And he would get up to defend himself, just like, how dare you say that? You're not a looker yourself.
Yeah, except I immediately blasted him with a fire whip.
Yeah.
And made him disappear.
That wasn't actually the first time. The first time you found him, you was just like, don't go near it. We all know what's going to happen. We've all seen those movies. Just kill it. And, yeah, he was lit on fire by Magic Bear, which almost burned through the papers he was sitting on.
No, I'm pretty sure I lit him on fire.
No, that was Magic Bear.
Was it?
It was. I remember because despite the fact I said he's sitting on top of some interesting looking papers, he's like, oh, he's holding them in his hand. That's what he heard, despite the fact I said it twice.
I don't know.
He thought he took but no, it was slightly singed when he got it. He almost destroyed a very important thing you needed.
Oh well.
Oh well. All of my, I wish I could still see some of my old starter references, because I always sketch these out first in a myriad of poses, just to see how it would look in my mind, and it never looked the same. It always looked way better. I wish I could see them. I really did a lot of study for Jinxie, actually.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I wanted to base him off of a really classic ventriloquist dummy, which in the modern age looks freaking terrifying, you know? You know, back then, when these were originally around, I think it was maybe the mid to late 1800s, maybe. But people were perfectly fine with it. But now we look back at it and just like, oh god, it's the spawn of Satan.
I think it's just one of those times change and people with them.
Yeah, it happens. But I actually had a lot of references pulled up on another screen. You might have seen a little window of me searching stuff earlier in the video. I wanted to really base it off of that, so, you know, I went with a very classic. I think he looks vaguely similar to Howdy Doody, back from the 1950s. I can't confirm that at this time, though. But you can see, I designed the entire puppet how he would look, and then I just started slowly breaking him away. You know, this actually goes back to a very early classic of my design process, way back before I was Why Not Toonish.
I do remember you doing that a lot.
Oh yeah, it was very fun to create creepy things like this. I started mainly because of Five Nights at Freddy's 2 specifically, and all the withered animatronics. It was so fun to just make something and just slowly make it more broken. Which, as you can see, I did more and more of. His suit is ripped, he's got a bunch of gaping gashes on his face. I even removed that big fat honker of a nose he had. Which, you know, I miss it because I drew it, but I think it worked.
Yeah, I think he did. I think for what he is, it came out fine.
Oh, absolutely. It really sold the nature of a very creepy ventriloquist dummy. You know the one thing I forgot to add? Like, there was one thing I wanted to add to him that would have made it perfect in my mind. And that was he was going to be swarming with termites. Just like up the arm and across the face, maybe a couple going out of his nose hole and stuff.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. I still think it was a better option to not do that.
You think so?
Yeah, it would have been too loud.
You know what? Yeah, I get that. Way too much going on. Now you can see as I begin to color this thing, I actually add a lot of detail, especially around the body parts. Because something I noticed about old ventriloquist dummies, they really tried to make them look human.
They did.
Which means there was a lot of red in the palms, the face, the cheeks, because that's where blood most pools in the human body.
Yeah, but I think that kind of ended up being what led into people today not really liking them all that much.
Oh yeah, it's the uncanny valley sort of thing. Everything on him was going to be painted on, you know? It was a classic wooden dummy. His hair was a secondary piece, just painted on. His eyes would be just a tiny bit wonky, like not exactly painted well. And I noticed they all had very specific color patterns. Like if it was a redhead, it was very much red hair, you know?
Oh yeah.
And you could see the wood grain in it. Like you can see, his eye, his left eye, well, you know, his left, not our left, is just slightly painted wrong. The pupil's not centered, and the eyeball or the iris isn't perfect. Just I wanted to make him look as real as possible, and then I added a little glowing eye just because I could. You know, something I never learned in Photoshop.
Yeah.
It was how to overlay texture. I learned that at one point, I'm certain, but I have since forgotten it.
I think I used to know how to do that in Illustrator.
It's probably easier in Illustrator. I've been relearning Illustrator lately.
Have you?
I have as a part of my classes in graphic design. They don't focus at all on Photoshop.
Yeah, I used to I did graphic design in high school, and I got certified in Illustrator.
But no, a hard thing for me here is I wanted him to look wooden. So I tried to overlay the wooden thing, but it looked like crap. I couldn't get the handle of it. I didn't know what I was doing, so he just ended up looking like this.
Yeah, I remember hearing you complain about that when you were doing it.
Yeah. I really tried with the background on this one.
Yeah, I will give you that one. Your background here has a lot more detail than a lot of the other ones.
Oh yeah, but it's still simple.
Yeah.
This could be any room in the house. But you'll see, you know, I added a table for him to sit on, a lamp for him to lean against.
I made sure to put an iron plate on behind the window.
Exactly, which I thought of as I was doing it, just like, wait, they're trapped in the house. That's right. I thought maybe one of you might have seen that if I didn't do that. Just like, wait, is that an open window? My attention to detail saved my butt. But
it would have been me.
It probably would have, to be honest. But yeah, that's Jinxie the living puppet, the world's tiniest man. A pain in the butt to fight. He had the ring, and he was ugly. Mouse, anything to end off on here?
I'm pretty sure we killed that thing like 3 times.
4, actually. You lit him on fire. Then you saw him in the living room on top of the mantle. You killed him again, just like, so ugly. Kill him. Then he was in the what was it? He was in the kitchen while you were looking for the ring. And he was on top of the fridge, just like, so ugly. Kill him. While you were looking in the for the ring, I kept making him appear, just like, maybe they'll get it.
Nope.
No.
No.
we weren't gonna get it until he showed up the 5th time. They're just like, fine, we'll fight you.
Well, I mean, because the way that I saw it, we were fighting. You know, he just wasn't. It was one of those things where every time you kill him, he comes back. And so I was like, oh, so he's just gonna be one of those nuisance mod, things.
Basically. But no, that was the world's tiniest man. Before we end off here, I just want to remind everyone to like, comment, subscribe. Every time you do, it tells the algorithm that I'm doing a good job, and it shares it to more people. It's just general help for me, and I appreciate it. But as always, he's been Mouse, I've been Why Not, and I hope you're entertained. Good night, everybody.